Hey, hey, what's happening, my joyful people? So, what's going down? I am so excited because today we have sunshine. Yes, sunshine. Where I am in South Carolina, this area has been under 5 days of rain, or I should say 4 days of rain consecutively, and it has been interesting. So, I just am so happy that we have some sunshine today. So get out in it and walk. Because remember, I told you that's one of those things about life expectancy. It's getting out with a friend and walking. But today we are talking about two more issues, or I should say not issues, but two more things that you can do to increase your life expectancy. And one of them is sex, and the other one is eating more veggies or eating like a vegetarian. So we're going to talk about the sex one first. Now, here's the deal. A lot of people may find what I'm about to say, hey, Marilyn, great morning to you as well, a bit prudent, but I'm a bit prudent in that way. I do believe that you should reserve sex for marriage. The reason why is really for me as a personal belief in what God has ordained. But I always look at the scientific side of things. And without going into a whole lot of detail, especially for a woman, every time a man ejaculates inside of you, our body actually sees that as a foreign entity. And it is a immune response that happens, okay? And so you put your body in a state of immune response, especially if you have different partners. And so that's something that can be, just from a health and wellness side, something that can be extremely detrimental to your health, let alone just, let's say the person is completely disease free. And that goes both for men and women. So it can actually work against you if you are having sex often, if you're not married, because this situation can create, like I said, especially if you have multiple partners, if you're a person who doesn't know the people that you're with and all that kind of stuff, it can become a detriment. Hello, everybody. Hey, Aunt Tama. Hey, Erica. It's good to see you. So I'm speaking from a very monogamous, one partner, hopefully married kind of situation. But I'm going to help you understand how having sex can actually help increase your life expectancy. So for men, it's actually been studied that those that have frequent orgasms showed a 50% reduction in mortality. That's huge. So married men tend to live longer. They talk about that. And it's also about the hormones that are released. And this is for both men and women. So within orgasms, you'll have different hormones that, like serotonin, you'll have oxytocin, you'll have even melatonin that actually is released and things like that. So just understanding that the increase in good hormones and things that help to regulate the body in a way that is positive will actually increase in the body the more that you engage in sex with your partner. That is also really important because we talked about relationships and bonding and having intimate conversation, and those things usually will happen out after having intercourse as well. So those levels of touch and things that will actually increase your body's frequency and the cell reproduction of the body. So there's a whole lot of factors in there. One, we talk about just the hormones. Two, we're talking about communication and feeling supported and loved and what that does to cell reproduction or increasing your frequency level in your body. So when you have high frequency turnover of cells, what happens is now your body is able to expel things that are quote unquote bad and actually bring in things to the body that are good, or your cells are actually able to reproduce in a way that is healthy. So those cancerous cells will go away and we'll have healthier cells reproduce. So raising your frequency level, and we can talk about that in another talk or whatever. So things that raise frequency are hugs, words of affirmation, essential oils, eating vegetables, which leads me to the next one. All right, so sex, remember, can increase your life expectancy. So as long as it's done in the right confines and you don't end up decreasing your life expectancy by getting involved with behaviors that can be risky. So eating vegetables is another huge increase to life expectancy. And there are three big areas that you can kind of be aware of. One is that it decreases heart disease. And when you take out things like red meat and butter, cheese, things like that are actually artery closing. So a lot of times we'll have people who are what I call messy vegetarians or, junk food vegetarians. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm not saying if you eat pizza all day long and a lot of things that are, cookies and cakes and stuff like that that have no meat products in them, you'll be healthy. I'm talking about people who are whole food vegetarians who eat, brown rice and quinoa and vegetables, root vegetables and carnivorous vegetables, green leafy vegetables, things like that. Those are the individuals that their arteries are very, very, very clean and their heart health is amazing. So that's one reason. The other thing is that vegetables will raise your frequency level. We talked about that a little bit, but it's also great because of the antioxidants that are in vegetables. So here's a little quick thing. Think about that if you had a cell that was damaged or bad, right? It was like we're going to call it a green, not a green cell, a purple cell. It's kind of like damaged and bad. And then you have a green cell, like the antioxidants, right? And so you have these things, antioxidants come and like knock out the purple, the bad. So, hey, how you doing, Carrie? It's good to see you. So it will knock it out. So but if you have more of these purple cells popping around that are bad or that are what we call free radicals rolling around, you need more antioxidants to knock things off. So vegetables have a lot of antioxidants, and there are things that I take like Ninja that has an ORAC score, which tells me how many antioxidants that are in a piece of it. So kale has an antioxidant score, ORAC score of 18. That's great. Everybody talks about kale, but Ninja or the wolfberry has an antioxidant score of 303. That's pretty amazing. So I'm drinking something and taking something in that has that kind of ORAC score to help knock out those purple cells. Okay, that was just a visual. Hold on, it says, I'm on a plane getting ready to depart, so I'll catch the rest later. Okay, good to see you, Mary. Hope to see you back. All right, so you guys get that? So just know that vegetables have a lot of antioxidants and fruits, which will help to get rid of the bad cells that can cause disease and oxidative state. And an oxidative state, like I've said before, is like when you cut an apple and it turns brown because the oxygen got to it. That's oxidation. And that's what happens to our cells. They start to decline and decrease in their ability to function properly. And it kind of becomes that diseased, icky state. Then the next thing is that when we fill up on vegetables, guess what? There are fewer calories. We can eat a lot more of them and fill up on them and have fewer calories, which actually in turn helps our BMI, our body mass index, and our relationship to body fat and muscle release and all that kind of, not muscle release, but muscle building and all that kind of stuff. So I just want you to know that there are so many things that vegetables can do to help in your life. So eating like a vegetarian, even if you have meatless Monday, or you take meat out one day a week, or, incorporate more vegetables into your life, eating vegetables are going to be a great way to increase your life expectancy, and it's going to help your arteries and your heart health. All right, so somebody said something. I had to get that out of the way. Sorry about coming in front of the camera. All right, guys, so I hope that makes sense. Good morning, Reginald. It's so good to see you today. So if you have questions for me, I'm here. I would love to answer anything that you might have question-wise. But remember, like I said, having more sex and eating vegetables are the two things that in this week's episode of our 10 most, we have, I think, 2 more weeks of dealing with things that can help increase our life expectancy. And this is all off the heels of my 42nd birthday. The other thing that I will tell you guys about before you hop off is about my lovely little book here. I hope you guys grab it because there are a whole lot of practices in here that can help you with your life expectancy as well. So I hope that you guys, like I said, if you don't have any questions, I'm going to pop off, but I'm here in case you have any questions whatsoever. I want you guys to remember to do all things in your life with joy, right? And I want you to share the joy with other people. So when I say share the joy, I mean hit the share button and send this out to your friends, because they never know who's dealing with something and needs some information, all right? And remember, I'm just trying to come in with quick stuff. It's not the deep and wide. I can always give you more scientific if you need it. You can always ask on here. I would love to be an interactive platform as well. But once again, I never like to hold people too long. So if you're just jumping on, hop on to the beginning of the call. I talk about sex and vegetables and how it increases your life expectancy and what it does. So, hey, Tori, good morning, beautiful. I can't wait to see you tomorrow. All right, so any questions before I head off? Okay, so Do all things with joy, you guys, and remember to share the joy always. And if you get a second to get on Amazon, pick up my book. I would love for you to have an opportunity to read it and share it with others because there are 52 practices in there that could help you. All right, peace and blessings. Bye-bye, guys.